Hi everyone, welcome back to VC Study Guides, your place for insightful and valuable information and advice for your English studies. And I'm Lisa, as you probably know. And before we get into the topic of discussion today, which will be oral presentations part 2, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to every single one of you who have been my loyal YouTube subscribers who actually came to my workshop that was held this Saturday that had just passed. I had such a great time meeting all of you and just chatting to you about your experiences so far at school. I honestly did not even anticipate or realize how many people I was helping by creating these YouTube videos. And I know that I've got quite a few subscribers now, way beyond anything I'd ever imagined. I didn't fully comprehend that I really was helping you guys out on YouTube. I know that I've been getting comments saying that I've been helping you a lot, but sometimes when you're filming and you're just looking at the camera, without that one-on-one interactivity, I'm unable to see how much you're learning. But from all the people who came to the workshop, I really did realize that, geez, these videos that I'm making, there are a lot of people out there who are gaining incredible advice from this channel. So one thing that I want to do, and I know that only in the last video I mentioned that I would do fortnightly videos, but realizing how many people came to my workshop on Saturday, I want to go back to doing weekly videos. I know that I said that I'm busy, and it's still true, I am busy, but it just really proved to me that doing this channel is doing something right, and that I've got loyal viewers out there who are waiting for videos to come out. So yeah, I'm just letting you know that I'm going to do weekly videos from now on. So woohoo! I would love your support, whether that's something as simple as liking this video, commenting and letting me know what you would like me to talk about next, then please do so. The worst thing you want to do in an oral presentation is to confuse people, and it's actually really easy confusing people. Why? Because it's not like an essay where you can read it over and over again. Just like how if you're reading a book, if you don't get that passage, you can reread it again. But with an oral presentation, you've only got one shot to get this right. So the one time that you're going to send your message better be good, because let's use an analogy. So let's say that you're holding a bunch of balloons. So you've got about 20 balloons in your hand, and each balloon represents a person in your class, and you're starting at the start of your speech. Now, as you're progressing through the speech, you will gradually lose more and more people if your ideas aren't clear to them. And slowly, as you're walking towards the finish line with all your balloons, instead of 20, it's going to go down to 19, and then it's going down to 18, and then 17, and then 10, and then 5. And then by the end of your speech, you've only got one balloon left, only one person who's able to follow you through right to the end. But that's not what you really want, because if only one person understands what you said, then you've lost majority of the people that you're talking to. And that's an indication that perhaps your speech is not that persuasive. So let's talk about 4 different ways that you can avoid confusing people and therefore avoid losing them, but instead get them to understand your topic very well and get them as interested and attentive to your speech for the entire pace of it. One of the things I always recommend to my students is that you need to explain your topic. So what does that mean? Whether it's something as complicated as a tax reform or mining, or something as simple as teenage binge drinking, explain your topic. You'll be really surprised when so many students go up on stage and they start launching off in their topic, but what's the point of talking about something when majority of your class doesn't even know what your topic's about in the first place? You can't assume that everybody knows what you're talking about. So whether it's just spending 1 or 2 sentences, just redefining the topic in your own words, at least then you can ensure that you can hook the audience straight away, they're on board with you, and then you can continue ahead. When I did my speech back in school, I did teenage binge drinking. Teenage binge drinking is when you drink excessively with the intention of getting drunk. And just by saying that, although everybody sort of knew what I was talking about, at least now they fully comprehended the topic, and there was no way of eschewing the information or no way of them misinterpreting what I had to say. Second thing is you want to narrow down your contention. So I find that a lot of students tend to be too broad in what they're trying to say with their contention. Let's say, for example, one of the topics that a lot of my students did this year, and I really encouraged it as well, was cultural appropriation. And if you don't know that much about this topic, then I'm gonna put a link for you below, because it's actually really interesting and really relevant to our society and to you as well. And once you understand what cultural appropriation is, when you start to look at all the different arguments out there, there are heaps and heaps and heaps of arguments. And there's just no way to encapsulate all of that into one oral, one 5-minute or maximum of 10-minute oral. So what I had my students do was I told them, okay, amongst the span of cultural appropriation, you guys need to figure out which area do I want to focus on and which area do I want to grapple. Because with this type of time limit where you don't have that much time to go through absolutely everything, you would rather focus on something specific, deal with it really well, than to deal with absolutely everything you can, but only touch base with it on the surface. Third point, this develops on from my second point. That is, you should only try to do a maximum of 3 main ideas. If you wanted to do more or less, it is up to you. Though my point of saying 3 ideas is that you shouldn't be trying to deal with too much at once. I generally find that students try to throw in all the information that they've found about a particular topic, and then in the end, their paragraphs are just all over the place because they're undefined. They're not specific on a particular argument. One thing that I've also found is once I've organized 3 main ideas with my particular student, sometimes they then try to include extra ideas and chuck them into the body paragraph where we've decided, okay, we're going to focus on this area here. So please don't fall into the trap of trying to grapple with too many things at once. It's just not going to work. My fourth point is keep it simple. This is an oral and it's not an essay. And I know a lot of the time in essays, people are trying to sound overly verbose or use a lot of vocabulary, and that is not the point in oral presentations. I think you'll find that the best oral presentations out there and the best people who do speeches usually talk on a very everyday, relatable scale. And that's what you want to try to do. Unless you're somebody in a particular field, so let's say tech, and you're presenting to a crowd of tech people, then maybe then you'd use particular jargon or you'd use really difficult vocabulary, but you're presenting to your classmates and to your teachers, and what you'd want to do is get their attention. So how are you going to do that? Most likely you're going to do it by being relatable, by using everyday conversational words, just like how I am with you. Keeping it simple does not mean that your arguments won't be strong. It does not mean that you won't be persuasive. It will only mean that you'll be more straight to the point and that your audience will love you for it. That's the main take-home message of today's video. Don't confuse people because you will lose them. Thank you so much to everyone who commented and requested a second video done on oral presentations. If you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up and let me know if you do want to see more oral presentation videos in the future in the comments below, because I've definitely got more tips up my sleeve. Have an awesome week, guys, and I will see you in exactly 1 week, not a fortnight, but 1 week from now. Best of luck for your orals. I'm sure you guys are going to do excellent. And remember, don't stress. You can do it. Bye, guys. I'm pretty sure 99% of you guys will experience, and that is feeling disappointed about a certain sack mark.